In this question, we're given three spheres. We're told that the volume of Q is 50% more than the volume of sphere P, and the volume of sphere R is 50% more than the volume of sphere Q. We need to find the volume of sphere P as a fraction of the volume of sphere R. Well, let's start by saying that the volume of P is equal to V. We're told that the volume of sphere Q is 50% more than the volume of sphere P. Now when we have a 50% increase, we multiply by 1.5. We can say that the volume of sphere Q is 1.5 multiplied by V, which is equal to 1.5 V. Now we're told that the volume of sphere R is 50% more than the volume of sphere Q. And again, we can apply the same principle. To have a 50% increase, we multiply by 1.5. Now if sphere R is 50% more than the volume of sphere Q, the volume of sphere R would be equal to 1.5 multiplied by 1.5 V, which we can simplify and say is equal to 2.25 V. Now we're asked to find the volume of sphere P as a fraction of the volume of sphere R. We know that the volume of sphere P is equal to V, and the volume of sphere R is equal to 2.25 V. And so to find the volume of sphere P as a fraction of the volume of sphere R, we can say that the fraction is equal to V over 2.25 V. Now we need to simplify this. We can see that the V's are going to cancel out. And so by dividing both the numerator and the denominator by V, we're left with 1 over 2.25. We can multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 100 so that we get rid of all the decimals. And so when multiplying by 100, we're left with 100 over 225. Now to write this in its simplest form, we can see that 100 and 225 are both multiples of 25, and so we can divide both the numerator and the denominator by 25. And so we end up with the fraction 4 over 9. And so we found that the volume of sphere P as a fraction of the volume of sphere R is equal to 4 over 9, which we can write down in our answer box below. Now there were slightly different ways that we could have approached this question. We used an algebraic approach, but what we could have done is use numbers. We could have said that the volume of sphere P is equal to 100, and knowing that the volume of sphere Q is 50% more than the volume of sphere P, we could have said that the volume of sphere Q would be 100 multiplied by 1.5, which is equal to 150. And then knowing that the volume of sphere R is 50% more than the volume of sphere Q, we could have said that the volume of sphere R would be 1.5 multiplied by 150, which would leave us with 225. And so we could have said that the volume of sphere Q as a fraction of the volume of sphere R would be 100 divided by 225, and then we would have ended up in the same situation as before. We would have started our fraction with 100 over 225, and then we would have simplified and found that the answer is equal to 4 over 9. Now this question is worth 3 marks. We get the first mark by finding the volume of sphere P and sphere Q, and by explicitly showing that the volume of sphere Q is 50% greater than the volume of sphere P. And we did this by saying that the volume of sphere P is equal to V, and the volume of sphere Q is 50% more than this and is equal to 1.5 V. And the second mark is for finding that the volume of sphere R would be 50% greater than the volume of sphere Q, and we did this by doing 1.5 multiplied by 1.5 V, and for showing that the volume of sphere R would therefore be equal to 2.25 V. And we get the third and final mark for finding the volume of sphere P as a fraction of the volume of sphere R, and by doing V divided by 2.25 V, and eventually simplifying to find the correct final answer of 4 over 9. And so we've now achieved the full 3 marks needed in this question.